There are many self-help books, success books, all these different ways that you can do things. I got introduced to one that I want to share with you today. I read it years ago. It was a businessman that I was working with who advised me to read it or mentioned how he read it and how he it really spoke to him. So I read this book, and this one just speaks to me too. I have to tell you, it's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. This book is amazing. Now, the reason why I believe it's amazing and why I vouch for it, even after other different ones that I've read, this one I believe has truth to it, okay? I'm really big on truth. If you watch my channel, you'll see that that's what I'm trying to offer here. And there are other different books that have a lot of hope and try to tell you a lot of things. This one seems like it's for everybody, and it tries to offer an opportunity for everybody, the every person, which is me, and maybe you if you're watching this. So stay tuned, and I'll explain to you exactly why I think this is the greatest book. How you doing? Welcome to Legendary Daddy channel. I'm Legendary Daddy. This is my book, The Legendary Daddy, and today I'm talking about The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Like I said, there were a lot of books out there about self-improvement, about success. Awaken the Giant Within is one. The Greatest Salesman in the World, which I've read. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've read a lot of these, and when I read this one, like I said, it just spoke to me. Now, let me tell you how it got started. It's where the author got the inception, the idea for this book. He discusses going to an airport, and before getting on the airplane, he decided to get his shoes shined. So the woman puts her book down that she was reading, and she starts, shining his shoes. They make small talk, and she explains in some part of the conversation that her daughter has an opportunity that's coming forward. I think it's with cheerleading. And it's going to involve some travel and uniforms and different things. And she was discussing with Mr. Olson, it's like, man, I don't know where I'm going to get the money to do this. This is really tough, and it's something I really want to be able to provide for my daughter. And this is where Mr. Olson started feeling a little bad. He heard this woman's story and he thought, why can't she have the success that I have? She's doing a great job with her business. She seems disciplined. She seems to have all the aspects that a person needs when they want to start a business or grow rich, How come she doesn't have what I have? Then maybe she wouldn't be going through these problems of not being able to provide or these struggles. And he noticed the book that she was reading, though, that she put down right before she started shining his shoes. And it was a novella, like a romance novel. And he thought, well, maybe if she read different books, just a little bit of investment every day, reading Think and Grow Rich or something else, that can give her something, just little disciplines that can make a difference. Not too long after that, he got on the plane and came up with this idea for the book. He started thinking, what exactly got me here? What can I offer to other people, to anybody who wants success? Because there's got to be a process to it, and I believe, because I'm a success, that I can give this to somebody else. He also came up with the idea for a graph that started coming into his head in terms of what leads to success and happiness and what leads to failure. Like I said, that intro, man, it really touched me because I've also felt that with people that I see every day. My dad ran a company and he had many migrant workers that worked for him, and he treated them really nice. And they wanted to grow. They were really hoping to be able to get bigger one day, or that their kids would. And what exactly is the solution for that? My dad, I think, was really, really perplexed with that a bit because he knew that he felt spoiled, that he had a lot. And I know that he wanted to share that with other people. Mr. Olson starts the book with the first 2 chapters, which are the first ingredient and the choice. And in these first chapters, he's pretty much saying that where you start with all of this is with yourself, with you. Which I really believe too, because trying to take someone else's idea that's not really in your heart or part of your philosophy of life, it's not going to really work. Think about Steve Jobs. He thought, it shouldn't be just IBM that's running this. It should be for everybody. So I want to put computers in every home. And he failed a lot and struggled a lot and got pushed down a lot, but he never stopped, even until death. He just kept on creating. That was his philosophy. That was who he was. And in this book, I think it's a great idea because when you start with something, for instance, with myself, Legendary Daddy, it's something that is me. It's going to be me for the rest of my life. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something that I don't mind the challenges that come ahead of me because I want to be great at something. So in the first couple chapters, that's pretty much what it's about. It starts with your choice, what you want to do, and the little disciplines that get you there. Think about it. Think about the things that you're really passionate about and think, wouldn't you be able to do it every day of your life because you just love it, because it's part of who you are, it's your signature? That really spoke to me, so here to share it with you. Now, chapter 4 of the book is probably one of my favorite chapters, which is Master the Mundane. No one really wants a boring life. They don't want that. They want the fame and the fortune. They don't want the work that usually gets you there. And what he explains in this book is that the work to get you there is boring. And mastering the mundane is completely important. That's the reason why he believes that even many young people don't make it, because their attention can't stick to one thing that's just boring over and over. They want adventure. They want something grand. And I see this in my life when it comes to this, because I see that the best routines that even led to a book or leads to the screenplays that I've written, it just takes time, and it takes love for what you're doing and a passion. There are days where you have challenges, but you just always know, like, I keep on going forward. I just did a video on going to the gym. I'll post it right there. And that's where, if you've seen that video, you'll see that's exactly how I do my workout. When I was younger, I lifted a bunch of weights, tried to get really big. By my 30s, I stopped doing that. I started just going and doing the easiest, laziest workout that I can do that keeps my body completely fit. It's pretty much just doing, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour a day of what you love. And he explains about how that, even though it seems to be boring, it doesn't seem to be giving you instant results, that there's an invisible attraction going forward, an attraction towards success of what you're going for. I really like to believe that. That's another reason why I think this speaks to me, is because as a writer, I still have more writing projects that I'm hoping that, of course, one day that one of them hits pretty big, a certain idea or something that people would like to share and that touches the world, So mastering the mundane, I think, is very important. Now, chapters 5 and 6, I believe they are slow down to go fast. Okay, that's chapter 5, I believe. And chapter 6 is don't fall for the quantum leap. Okay, so if you listen to those two chapters, they have to do with time. Slow down to go fast. Don't fall for the quantum leap. Slow down to go fast, to me, is the tortoise versus the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. And that's what he tries to explain in this chapter, is that doing your work over time, adding up that energy, that attraction, the law of attraction, putting, coins into a piggy bank and keep on going until you save quite a bit, that time can work for you. So don't be frustrated when it doesn't come to you. And that leads to the 6th chapter, is don't fall for the quantum leap. He explains about how trying to get the quick fix, or trying to just think like, I'm going to win the lottery, it's going to come to me that fast, or even a business that comes that fast, can really be hurtful. Because if you do not know what your passion is, what you've chosen in life, who you really are, and if you haven't mastered the mundane and understand the process that keeps you healthy, that keeps you fit, keeps you sane, when you go for the quick, you can lose it just as fast because you don't have the discipline. He gave a couple of graphs in the beginning that explain this. It shows the arc that goes up the roller coaster ride, if you will, between failure and survival. He says, we're pretty much built for survival and, built from fear in a lot of ways. And he explains about how you can ride this roller coaster up and down in your life because you can't get out of that process. He tries to explain about how the only thing that gets you out of that and gets you to success is the good habits that get you to survival. You have to maintain them. You cannot let them go, because the moment you let them go because you are now feeling relaxed or feeling that you made it, you stop doing the work. You didn't learn the good habits. It's not going to keep you going forward towards success. So the quantum leap and looking for that quick answer isn't exactly changing you as a person or teaching you the proper ways to succeed in life. Now, there are other chapters in this book that I would love to share with you, but, I want to keep this kind of short, and then also give you the opportunity to read it. I think it's really, really a good read. But I'm just going to finish right there with the chapters. I want to show you, though, the graph. And this is the thing that when I looked at, it really nailed it for me. So take a look at it right now. This graph is pretty much his complete philosophy and everything that he believes in put into a small little graph. And this graph shows that things over time, discipline and following what you're passionate about, mastering the mundane, they may start off pretty boring, but what is uncomfortable at first becomes comfortable later, and it can lead to success. It leads you to all those things that you really wanted in life. But it also shows the other life path, which is if you are not putting coins in a bank, if you are daily just throwing your coins away, it will leave you with nothing. What's comfortable now becomes very uncomfortable later. That's what this part of the graph shows also, is that you end up living in a life of blaming other people, saying that, I should have had this, I shouldn't have, making excuses for all the disciplines you did not take. It can lead to a lot of loss. I mentioned about how I believe this is truth, or this book explains truth, because when I look at that graph, that's exactly how I see my life. A perfect example is one of the things I've always told my kids is that my college education, when I went in for film school, I spent 2 years at a university, and I told them I have all that money I paid for it in my brain and in my heart, because I was at the right time. I was finally grown up enough to be able to respect and understand and really love, appreciate an education. And when I went to that school, I was a nobody. I showed up at this university, not with my friends, not with roommates that I knew. I showed up at this school a complete loner, by myself. And I saw that there were already cliques that were there, and there were people who were making movies, and there were people who were me who were just starting to take the classes, and I was pretty much like a nobody. In 2 years, my name was over a bunch of different films and on the title cards. I loved what I was doing. It took me time. I did the work. Because I did well in my classes, a lot of the teachers really liked me. Because I did well with production, with writing, a lot of the students really wanted me to help them out. It was something that took time, and it's something to this day when I look back at that time, I have it here. I have it in my heart. I really, really love it. Now, when it comes to the bad slope, the one that leads to failure, I can see that also. My father, I think, rode that slope. He was very successful, especially with his own business and with the disciplines that he learned. He always says that it came from the Army. He was in the United States Army, and he said that taught him how to be, a man. It taught him to grow up really quick and have discipline. But when it came to his feelings and things that were going on inside of here and in here that he couldn't deal with, he was very much old school man, where he didn't share these things with his wife, his kids, a psychiatrist or psychologist or anything like that, a therapist. He didn't. And the way he took care of these things is he hung out with his buddies and they drank. They drank together and had fun. And during this time, his friends started going through divorces. He never divorced, but he started realizing he was around these people and they were kind of, not doing too well. And with his drinking, it eventually led to his death. And I knew that happened. I knew that was going to happen when I was 16 years old. There was like a truth that hit me that knew I'm going to lose my dad to drinking one day. And it took 9 years until that eventually happened. And I saw it happen in front of my face. So I really do believe that, just like the path can lead you up, it's the same path, and those, not having certain disciplines that can lead you down. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for listening. If you did, I advise you to go check out this book, because this book is just great. It's really easy read. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If this helped you in any way, please consider helping my channel out by liking, subscribing, and clicking that little button so that you can get the notifications of when I come out with a new video, which I'm trying to do every weekend, at least one. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace.